if they prefer that, it's no extra charge to have this. All they need to do is simply click on here saying, okay, I want an email, a text message, or both, okay? We're going to select both for now. Okay, what is the email you want to be notified? It can be different from the one above here. Just input the email of what that wants to be. And then the cell phone, okay, who's your cell phone provider? You know, simply click on the drop-down box, find your cell phone provider in the list here, and then you'll be able to, okay, we'll say it's Cellular One, input the cell phone number. Okay, and then what's going to take place is when a transaction comes due, which is here on your dashboard here, it's going to send a text message on this date. It would have sent one today. It will send one on the 13th, saying what you need to do is you need to take $1,006.58 from your HELOC, pay to your credit card, and pay that thing off. Okay. So that's what it's going to take place there. And then, okay, so just to sum that up again, if you want text messages or emails, click on the Edit Personal Information here, scroll to the bottom of the page here, and you can update the information in the Preferences box here. Okay? So I would highly recommend, if your clients want to do that, you know, walk them through it, show them the features of it. This is actually a very powerful sales tool as well, so you'll probably want to set up all your clients on that information there anyways. Okay, jumping in here, let's jump into the Edit Financial Information now. Okay, so if your client, the question gets asked day after day after day, what if your client buys a new car? What if they sell their home and buy a new home? What if they, you know, get another credit card, they start a student loan? All these different scenarios of things that can take place any day of the week, any day of the month, things that happen all the time in our lives. That's why the software is set up to react to exactly what is taking place in their lives and to update it, you know, to keep it to what it really is. Instead of just spitting out a plan for the next 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, it's going to react and recalculate according to the decisions that are made by your clients. So in the Edit Financial Information, the question is asked, now what if their income changes? What if they change their job? What if, you know, they get a satellite dish or they start using cable or something? All you need to do is simply come into the Edit Financial Information tab and update the system to exactly what is now taking place. So simply click on Edit Financial Information. The page that is showing right now will show up. You can come down here, you can edit your line of credit information. You can edit your mortgage information, whatever it is you need to do. Okay, so what if they decide to, we're going to say they're going to buy a car. So I'm going to add another debt here, and we're going to name it a car. We'll say they buy a truck, since trucks are dirt cheap these days, since gas was so expensive. Okay, so we're adding the truck here. Now I'm actually going to follow the debt roll down program here, so I'm going to edit the information here. So I should pay off credit card 3 first. So I'm going to edit that one to number 1. And then I'm going to pay off credit card, the other one, as number 2. So I'm going to change that to priority number 2. Okay, and your clients can change these if they want. It's completely up to them. They have control of it. The truck should be number 3, so I'm going to edit that one and put it as number 3. And then what this is doing is basically once the one debt is paid off, it's going to then attack the next debt. And then once that one's paid off, it's going to attack the next one accordingly, so on and so forth down the line here. And then it always defaults to the mortgage being the next one in line. So they don't have to put anything as priority above it. They can if they want to. Okay. Now, for you private label owners and those who are looking into getting the private label, you will have a feature that the people on Easy Mortgage Acceleration do not have. Now, you do not have to offer this opportunity to your clients, but you can. Now, in the private label owners, they have the option where you can use this transaction here. you can erase all map actions that have taken place, and you can restart the program all over again starting now if you want to. If you're with Easy Mortgage Acceleration or some private label owners, you don't have to offer this. There will not be this option here on the bottom. And I'll actually, we're going to recalculate this plan. It's going to ask us if we do. Now, if this option isn't here, how is it going to update the financial information for that? So when you reconcile, what happens is everything in the month, and I'm actually going to review through this in just a few minutes too, everything that takes place during that month that you've edited on this page will be updated. And so anything that you put in here gets updated into your plan when you reconcile. Now, for you private label owners who have this feature, who have this option, you know, they can start their plan over immediately right now, and they can start moving forward on it. Okay, we're actually in the developmental server, so it's a little slower than the average web page here, so hold tight. Okay, looks like we got something here. Okay, so now what's going to happen is, since we put that truck into the plan, now it's going to all of a sudden start taking into account the truck now. Okay, if you were an Easy Mortgage Acceleration, or your client does not have that option to update, to reconcile, to erase the map actions and start over, what will happen is when they reconcile at the end of the month, this new expenses will begin showing up the next month. If incomes change, if jobs change, whatever it may be, all you need to do is simply go up here to edit financial information, input the information of what needs to be taking place here, and it will update it when the next month comes along. Or if you have the option, you can click on the erase existing map actions and recalculate the plan. Okay, so moving on from that one there, that is the edit financial information, so on and so forth. Okay, reconcile, we're actually going to skip over that for just a second here. We're going to come back to reconcile. Let's jump into the what if real quick. Okay, the what if is basically set up for, it's basically set up as a thinker. So your client is thinking, maybe we're going to take a vacation, maybe I just got a tax return, maybe I just got an economic stimulus package, you know, I just got a check from the government, maybe I just got an inheritance, maybe I want to drop a lot more on Christmas this year because the market's just so great and money's so lucrative out there for everyone. Whatever it may be, they can come into this here and say, okay, what if I had, say, an extra expense? Okay, we decided to go to Disneyland, Disney World, whatever it may be, and we dropped $3,000. Okay, what is the significance of this? What it's going to do is it's going to basically take your plan that you have, add $3,000 additional debt into it, and it's going to run a quick analysis here. And once again, I apologize, I'm logged into our developmental server. It's not on the servers that are dedicated towards the Easy Mortgage Acceleration and the private labels. And so you won't see this go as quick as your normal stuff does. So just hold tight quickly here, and it's going to pop up our information. Okay, once again, I know I didn't go over it in the beginning. I apologize for that. If you have any questions, please write them into the questions tab there, and we can actually make sure we get around in those questions. Okay, so for this situation here, all right, so if they had an extra $3,000 expense, what is it going to do for their plan? Well, here's their existing plan. They're going to save $94,000 in interest. Okay, if they spent $3,000 now, they're actually going to pay $329 more in interest. Their payoff date actually is going to be pushed back from the 25th of that month to the 15th of the next month. It must be when an income is hitting, and it's going to knock on this much more time of years. So it's going to help them. Now, it's usually a lot different than this because this person had a lot of discretionary income and it's getting out of debt in less than 2 years. You know, usually things that don't take place. Usually it will show a more significant difference in savings because of the interest being